Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Thursday night vibes, man, we got a lot to talk about, and that's why I can talk about these type of games and let you know what happened, the little intricate details of what transpired during this game, because I've played in some of the most important, iconic games out there. You know what I mean? Thursday night vibes, man. Let me bring on my host for the night, 2-3 Gs. How y'all doing out there tonight, man? We have a lot to talk about tonight, man. How are we doing tonight? How we doing? That was
in the history, man. Thursday night football has been like the worst games. This year's it's been entertaining, man. It's been entertaining this year on Thursday night football. It went down today.
It went down today. Man, the Steelers versus the Bengals, man. Was anybody surprised? Was anybody shocked?
The world was.
Was the world shocked?
Did
Joe Flacco make anybody a believer after 17 years of playing in the National Football League? Is it or isn't it true? Oh, man, check this out. Check this out. Where is the score? Where is the score? 31-33. The Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a shocker on Thursday night football. And let me tell you, man, Mike Tomlin called it out. Mike Tomlin called it out. Why? Why would you trade a veteran quarterback that was picked to be your opening day starter to a divisional opponent and make them more competitive? Woo!
He felt it.
Mike Tomlin knew what was happening, man. He felt that coming, man.
He played against Joe Flacco 16 times in his career. You know, him being in the division, playing for the Ravens all those years. So he knew Jack Flacco a lot. And he was like, man, why the hell would you put him on there with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? And we seen today.
Why would you put him on a team with that big arm and all of those weapons over there? And that trade is looking like a bad idea right now, man. It's looking like a terrible idea. But like you said, Mike Tomlin felt it. He knew it. He knew what was to come after this trade. And then you trade him to the Cincinnati Bengals with Zach Taylor in that offense and all those weapons. Man, it was cool to get rid of a quarterback because the Bengals had all these quarterbacks. But to trade him to the divisional opponent, which is the Cincinnati Bengals, man, that is turning around to backfire, and it is going to bite some people in the behind.
It did already. They saying the Steelers can lock up the division today because everybody would have had like 5 losses in the division. And it's a different story now.
Steelers would have had like a 3.5 game lead on everyone. Now it's like a 1.5 game lead in the division. And yeah, Bengal fans have something to cheer about. Now that they have Joe Flacco on the team, man. And you know what the new duo is in the NFL, the new quarterback combination that everybody's going to be talking about this week? Joe Flacco to Jamar Chase. And they went crazy tonight. Woo! That was exciting and explosive at the same time. And cornerbacks and the secondary got it embarrassed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers in secondary got embarrassed. Got embarrassed by Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase. You know what I mean?
23 targets. He targeted Jamar Chase 23 times. He had 16 catches for 161 yards. 23 targets. Ooh. Have you ever seen that before?
Hey, look. Hey, I'm open. Just start. Who am I? Who am I? Start. Just start.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He probably hasn't done that in 15 years. Joe Flacco probably hasn't played this good in at least 10 years, man. I'm talking about Joe Flacco was slinging that rock left and right. And all he had to do was look for Jamar Chase. And like you said, 16 catches for 161 yards, 1 touchdown.
Sheesh.
The secondary and pass rush was just absolutely horrible tonight. Joe Flacco threw the ball 47 times. And guess what? He was only sacked twice. As old as Joe Flacco is, you mean to tell me they couldn't get to Joe Flacco? And did you see him run for the first down?
I was about to say they had a big time third down scramble.
First down scramble, first down. I mean, oh man, they tricked. I mean,
it's crazy, right? Because I know you always call him like he looked like he falling asleep. And every time they show him on the sideline next to Joe Burrow and Jake Brown, and he looked like he the only one dozing off. He dozing off over there, but he come out there and start throwing the ball like he wake up when he hit the
field. Baby. It's bedtime, man. Man, I can't believe Joe Flacco lit up the NFL world tonight, man. And look at this, man. Look at this. The AFC North was supposed to be a guarantee for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, none of these teams are supposed to stand a chance in stopping the Steelers from coming first in the division. But we are here now. Joe Flacco to the Bengals changes the whole dynamics of the AFC North, just like that in an instant. And Mike Tomlin was trying to tell you, why would you do something like that? And that's wisdom right there. Aaron Rodgers, though, at the same time, he looks like he is about as close as he can get to being 100% from, his rehab Achilles injury. He still has the capabilities to do something, pretty prevalent in NFL in the season, maybe getting to an NFL, maybe winning one. He looks like he still has the capabilities, but can he finish strong and do it? We all have to see,
Right.
But, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it was just how bad the Bengals defense is playing. I don't know. Maybe that was the difference for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, this one interception, it felt like DK Metcalf had no chance for the ball when he threw up in double coverage. The ball was closer to two Bengals defenders than it was to DK Metcalf. Man, that was just a horrible throw right there. He just threw it up. And I feel like that was the momentum swing right there. The interception, that was the momentum swing because the Steelers had the momentum going until that. The whole game changed.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, man, I know, man, he threw 2 interceptions tonight, man. I think he played I think he played all right. I think he played really good, man. He really, I think he took a step in the right direction, especially after coming off of Achilles injury. And the last 2 years he's played in the NFL with the Jets and whoever else he played with. But I think he took a step in the right direction tonight. Or, like I said, maybe it was just Cincinnati defense just that horrible. When we have to see, But at the end of the day, they didn't get the victory. You let Joe Flacco beat you. Even though y'all the same age, y'all not supposed to be the same caliber of quarterbacks. And Jamar Chase, let me tell you. But Joe Flacco, man, still doing it at a high level with his 6th team in his career. And this is his 2nd team this season. And I heard this game was called the Icy Hot Bowl tonight. The Icy Hot Bowl. The old men seeing how they can sling that pill around, you know what I mean? And you know what they're going to have to ice up the most is those arms throwing that pigskin like that. Joe Flacco said, give me an elite receiver and watch me go to work. One thing is for sure, Joe Flacco's arm is going to be super sore at the end of this season, throwing the ball 45 times a game. That's why this game tonight is called the Icy Hot Bowl. 45 times a game. That is what they're telling Joe Flacco he has to do to win games for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I guess he's down with it. He'll pay for it at the end of the season for sure.
One of the biggest surprises for me tonight for this game was the O-line for Cincinnati Bengals. You know, they've been giving up a lot of sacks this year, but Joe Flacco began the ball out fast. A lot of times when the pressure was coming, he's finding the hot route or just getting the ball out to Jamar Chase at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, he was getting the ball out quick, making sure they don't get to him, because that was the biggest thing when actual Joe Burrow was playing. Like, the O-line can't hold up for him. He keep getting sacked. It was like leading lead at the sacks at the time, but he only got touched 2 sacks today. That surprised me. I honestly thought it was gonna be like they could go have a party back there in the backfield. But
exactly right. But at the same time, man, I think that goes to show you the talent that the Cleveland Browns surrounded their quarterbacks with, right? Joe Flacco comes to the Cincinnati Bengals and instantly, just like this, he is very comfortable with this elite receiver in Jamar Chase, and he's not taking as many sacks. He's getting the ball out quickly and precisely, and he's very comfortable just throwing the football to Jamar Chase. Like you said, I think Jamar Chase was targeted 24, 26 times a day, something like that. You know,
some quarterbacks don't get that many attempps, and he got that many targets,
right? And it was over 20 times that Jamar Chase was targeted. That is that all that means is your quarterback has a ton of confidence in you. If you're Jamar Chase, that quarterback has a ton of confidence in Jamar Chase, throwing the ball to him over 20 times.
Every Steelers quarterback got some too. It was nobody left out, y'all.
I think this is proof that the Cleveland Browns, you know, they need a major upgrade on the offense at receiver to help Dillon, Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, you know, because Jerry Jeudy, man, he just isn't stepping up how he needs to step up for these young quarterbacks, or just for his career period. You know, he's having some ups and downs and things like that, but he needs to step up. And maybe Joe Flacco could have done this in Cleveland if he would have had an elite receiver or a number one receiver like that, you know, but he's in Cincinnati doing the same thing. And Mike Tomlin is asking, why would you trade him to a divisional opponent? Why? Your opening game day starter. Doesn't make sense. No. And it proved that tonight. Why would you do that? And I know Mike Tomlin is getting a lot of slack for going off and making a big ruckus about trade, make it about the Cleveland Browns making that trade. But I think that was intentional, of course, right? He did that on purpose. He knew this game was coming up, and he wanted to make it loud and clear so everyone can see. Loud and clear so everyone can see. So you understand what the Cleveland Browns had just done to help the Cincinnati Bengals out and be a competitive team in AFC North. He did that intentionally so everyone can see, loud and clear.
All right.
And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and you know, in these coaches meetings from the NFL and owner meetings and things like that. But something is going to happen at the end of the season. Something is going to happen by the end of the season.
Out there in the air.
You know. But Joe Flacco, man, Joe Flacco said, I love it here in Cincinnati, man. Flacco favorite play is Jamar Chase, baby. Don't even say the play. Just say Jamar Chase. Hey, Coach, what we got? Jamar Chase. All right, Coach. No,
I got you.
Right. I got you, Coach. You know,
Speaking of receivers, man, I feel bad for the Steelers. Steelers got one receiver out there and 4 tight ends with DK Metcalf out there. No other receiver they really got. They out there running with 4 tight ends and DK Metcalf, man. I think they need to make a move for a receiver.
And I think there's going to be a surprise trade that the Steelers is going to make. We're going to talk about that later. And if y'all think y'all can guess who the Steelers are possibly going to trade for. Now, there's 2 different people, but we're going to talk about one of those receivers tonight. And we'll probably talk about the other receiver this weekend, right? And y'all get in the chat and y'all let me know who y'all think the Steelers may possibly trade for.
I got one in my mind.
Yeah, we'll see.
I got one in my mind, man.
We'll see. We'll see if we on the same page. But yeah, man. The one we're going to talk about this weekend, I give you a hint, and this probably will give the whole answer away. So I'm not going to give the hint. I'm not going to give the hint. You know what I mean? But say it, Hut. Say it, say it. Where's number one? Where is he? Where is he? Throw it up. Touchdown. All right. On Jalen Ramsey. Just like that. And that's a whole different story, man. Why? What is going on with the Steelers defense? The Steelers defense just isn't the same anymore, despite whoever they may bring to the team to try to upgrade that defense. They couldn't stop the Bengals from scoring in the second half until that drive before Aaron Rodgers. Long pass for the Steelers to take a 1-point lead. That's not good. The entire second half, the Steelers defense couldn't stop the Bengals until just over 3 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers let the Bengals, who are dead last in rushing, at 56 yards per game, rush for 97 yards with a 10.8 average yards per carry in the first half.
Talk about it.
Horrible. That nothing about that represents the Steelers nation, that defense. You know what they used to call them, the steel of something.
The steel curtain.
Nothing about that represents the steel curtain that we're used to seeing. I don't know about the new era, but we're used to seeing the Steelers defense be physical, blitzing, stopping the run,
hitting hard.
I'm taking your head off. You know, and I don't see anything the Steelers do good anymore on defense. None of those things we talked about. Like I said, we're used to seeing the Steelers defense play physical, running a lot of zone blitzes.
Getting after the quarterback.
That's what they were known for over the years, zone blitzing. And having the quarterback under the stress. And Cameron Hayward, man, he is old, man, and on his last leg. And number 95, Kenu, am I saying that right? Kenu Benton. Number 95, man. They play too soft. And number 95, he's picking sides that open lanes up for the running backs to run through. That's part of the reason why the Steelers defense is soft. Cameron Hayward is getting too old. He's getting up there. He's probably, I think he's on his 14-15 season. He's in his 14-15 season. And Kenu Benton, I think he's in his second season. Second round pick out of Ole Miss, if I'm correct. Y'all look it up. Y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong. But they're just too soft in the middle right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers. We are not used to seeing the Steelers be that soft in the middle. Now, the big issue for the Steelers. Who had the bright idea to match up Jalen Ramsey against Jamar Chase by himself? Not just match him up against Jamar Chase, but leave him by himself all game. Who had the bright idea? Jalen Ramsey at this point in his career is just a big body at defensive back who can get physical. Joey Porter is the future. Let him continue to get that work against one of the best receivers to probably ever play the game. Give him some help. Let him learn and build. He's the future. If you put two bodies on Jamar Chase, that's better than just one. And thinking just because Jalen Ramsey's name is Jalen Ramsey, he can do the job. That was a big mistake, thinking Jalen Ramsey could handle Jamar Chase one-on-one by himself. Mano y mano. Jalen Ramsey got embarrassed on Thursday Night Football.
Man, he wasn't the only one. They always over there getting something. All the corners.
They all got something. They all got a part of it. But Jalen Ramsey
was over there a few times.
And Jalen Ramsey was there from the beginning since that goal line stands. He was there from the beginning. The game plan was to put Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase. And when that didn't work out, you had to go to plan B and C because plan A is getting humiliated. And Jalen Ramsey didn't stand a chance. If y'all didn't know, Jamar Chase is an ex-running back, so he has a strong lower body. He's very strong. He can break tackles like a running back and run routes like a receiver. So that makes him super duper dangerous. because after he catches the football, it's hard to tackle him. And while he's running routes, he has the body type of a running back. So him bumping you off of routes and being physical is nothing. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And to make matters worse for Jalen Ramsey, they were running the same plays back to back on Ramsey. Speed out.
Joe Flacco had no fear throwing at Jalen Ramsey.
Had no fear. That is Joe Flacco with the longest windup in NFL history. And back to back, they kept running speed outs. And Jalen Ramsey wouldn't take a chance to make a play. You got to have some balls at cornerback. You got to have some balls. That's why it's cornerback. That's why they say you're on that island. There is no one out there to help you unless coach calls a play to get you some help. You have to stand up on 10 toes and say, I'm willing to make a play, and this is my time. Even in cover 3, zone coverage, Jalen Ramsey is supposed to play underneath those speed out routes. And he still couldn't make a play on consecutive pass plays when they kept running those out routes. You can't let a quarterback run the same play over and over. Come on. I know it sounds like it's difficult, but as a cornerback, if you let that happen, you are nothing but a sitting duck out there.
Right.
And then nobody go talk about in the red zone, Jalen Ramsey got 2 consecutive chances to stop Jamar Chase in the second quarter on that 10-play, 72-yard drive the Steelers gave up to the Bengals. He had 2 consecutive chances to stop him on the goal line. The first one, Jamar Chase dropped. Thank God for Jalen Ramsey. And then the second play, the fade route. Woo! Jamar Chase had a field day tonight. Against a big name, and he made it look good.
Was Jalen Ramsey too worried about the offensive pass interference and then playing the ball? Because he tried to sell it off the push off instead of just keep going through the play and playing for the ball. That's how I feel like
on that island when you're out there by yourself and you understand that ball is in the air, when all the lights, cameras, and the action is going on. You have a lot of things going through your mind, right? And on that deep pass play to end the game to help get the Bengals in field goal range, he was having too many thoughts going through his mind, whether it's going to be a back shoulder fade or just a regular go route. So he was looking backwards to hopefully see the ball and still secure the wide receiver at the same time. But that slows you down. And it wasn't that type of throw. It wasn't a back shoulder fade. Mm-hmm. So that allowed T. Higgins to get in front of him with a slight push off.
Now, I mean the touchdown of Jamar Chase. On the touchdown of Jamar Chase, they called pass interference on Jalen Ramsey, but he tried to set it like Jamar Chase pushed off of him instead of just keep playing through the play.
You talking about
easy touch? Well, Jamar Chase touchdown.
Yeah, on the fade route. Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, not that play. Yeah, that was it was like Jalen Ramsey was trying to put it like this. On an even playing field, it's a pass interference all day. But being that we playing in the National Football League and they want to see more touchdowns.
Touchdowns, right?
It's not a pass interference. They're never going to call that, and that's the difficult part about playing cornerback. All odds are stacked up against us because you need touchdowns to make the game exciting. So he can cry, he can go to the media and say whatever he wants. I'm sure he will have something to say, but we all know playing cornerback, we don't get those calls. Mm-hmm. Then to make matters worse, they put Jalen Ramsey on the second best receiver, and then he gets burnt for 30 yards on a go route to set up the field goal. And T. Higgins decided not to score.
That was
when he could have just scored. Woo! When I say the embarrassing gets more embarrassing, man, Jalen Ramsey had a long night tonight. He got a lot to think about, man. If he wants to continue to expose himself like this, or just, call it a day. At the same time, he's getting a lot of money, so it's probably worth it in some people's eyes to go out there and get embarrassed like that if you're making over $20 million. You know what I mean? It's like, will you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for 3 minutes or 3 rounds for $20 million? And I'm sure everybody in the chat will definitely say, yeah. If you agree, throw the ones up. If you agree, you'll get in the ring with Mike Tyson for 3 minutes for $20 million. I'm sure y'all will.
Speaking of a lot of money, man, one of the highest paid DNs, J.J. Watt. Where was he tonight?
I did not
show.
see.
I did not see J.J. Watt.
Was a no-show. You could name every player on the defense, and we can talk about how there was a no-show in this game and didn't show up nowhere. Like I said, I'm talking about we don't usually talk about defensive linemen and the guys up front. We're talking about Cam Hayward and Canu Benton. These guys didn't show up at all tonight. They gave up over 197 yards in the first half. Over 100 yards rushing. I don't know the total in the game.
Mm-hmm. Chase Brown, he had 108 himself. He averaging 9.8 yards a carry. The whole season he averaged under 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Bengals offense, they are dead last in rushing in the NFL. And then you come to the intimidating Steelers defense and blow it out the roof against them. You double your average and win the game with a quarterback you just signed 7 days ago. Oh, man, the story and the plot thickens. Oh, man.
They threw for 340.
Hey, man, we'll see, man, what Mike Tomlin and Jalen, Ramsey, Joe Flacco, and the crew have to say, because I'm sure somebody has to say something or talk about this game or point the finger or something. Probably have to blame this on Andrew Berry at the end of the day. Sorry, Andrew Berry, it's your fault, brother. You caused this issue. You caused this. But how we doing out there? Chat, man? Say what needs to be said. Y'all know I have to say what needs to be said. Jalen Ramsey, I'm a cornerback. I was criticized when I played cornerbacks. No one took it light on me. And, hey, man, if you want to be that big name, you want to be known as one of the greats. And if y'all don't know, me and Jalen Ramsey had a little powwow. We was going back and forth. He thought he can have a conversation or talk some shit with the big dog. Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen. Calm down. Can't too many people talk that shit with me. They can't go toe-to-toe with Mr. Pick Six. I have done things. A lot of people, you have to go back into the 80s and 70s to find people that did what I did. But let's move on. Say what needs to be said, man. Say what needs to be said. I don't want to talk that shit too much today. Y'all know I talk that shit and I keep it going. I had a world going crazy looking at me like, what? But they don't want to talk them facts. You know what I mean? But Tua Tagovailoa, man. Tua Tagovailoa is back quicker than he left. That was fast, man. That was fast, man. He had a long time to think about how stupid he was to feel like it was his duty to blast his teammates and think it was cool. For me, apologies doesn't really change the way that person feels or the way that person made me feel in my eyes. Mm-hmm. I believe in you say what you mean and mean what you say. And I think Tua meant everything he said. It just backfired. And it make him look bad. So he had to do something about it. Tua issues apology to teammates for his comments following the Dolphins' latest loss. Yeah, we know what Tua did to make himself look foolish in front of the world. Mm-hmm. Called out his teammates, and that was an ugly situation. And let me tell you, Tua Tagovailoa is learning the hard way. He is learning the hard way how to be a leader. But I'm mostly disappointed that Tua had to learn from the players on the team that it was a big mistake to blast his teammates at a press conference. We learned that in grade school. Ain't no tattletelling. Stop! Don't point the finger. Put your hand down.
It depends where you come from. It depends where you come from, man.
I guess so. I guess you make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you will hear Tua, man, in the clip coming up talking about what he learned since those comments he made at his press conference. But how difficult is it to understand calling out your teammates to the masses is in no shape, way, or form a good idea? Man, Tua needs to have a big game this weekend against the Cleveland Browns to cool everything down. And of course, I would be tuned in critiquing every throw, how fast he gets that ball out, and how scared he is of Myles Garrett.
Ooh.
And if y'all haven't heard, man, if y'all haven't heard or seen, Jalen Waddle has removed everything associated with the Dolphins from his social media, particularly his Instagram account. And I'm wondering, did Jalen Waddle get a call from his agent that the Dolphins have him on the trading blocks or something? Why did he decide to do this at this time? When Tua's apologizing, calling out teammates, the trade deadline is in the corner, around the corner. The Pittsburgh Steelers need a wide receiver. Or maybe it's Jalen Waddle just tired of Tua's bullshit or the Miami Dolphins organization, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's a coincidence he removed the Dolphins from his profile.
It never is. There's always something behind it.
Hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers is looking to add another weapon, man, for Aaron Rodgers, so watch out. I think Jalen Waddle is a possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So don't be surprised if you see Jalen Waddle in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. You heard it here first. Say what needs to be said. We called it here first.
Jalen Waddle, you know how I was thinking?
AJ Brown.
No, Chris Olave.
Chris Olave. There's a lot of options, man. A lot of options.
They asked him like recently about him being traded. He's like, man, listen, it's a business. So like, and they asked Alvin Kamara the same thing. Alvin Kamara was like, I want to be a Saint for life. He was more so like, it is what it is. Like, if I'm traded, I'm traded. So I'm like, and that's about it. I
seen him say if he's traded, he'll be sipping on pina coladas or somewhere. You know what I mean? Basically, like, man, I'm done if they try to trade me. But I was gonna say AJ Brown is another option. Being that DJ Metcalf and him, play the Ole Miss together. They have a connection, so on and so forth. Yeah. But we'll talk about that this weekend, and we'll see, man. That is a big possibility. AJ Brown, Pittsburgh Steelers, or Jalen Waddle. We'll see. We'll see.
Don't forget, I said Chris Olave,
and don't forget you said Chris Olave for sure.
Chris Olave, man.
And this weekend, man, won't be easy for Tua and the Dolphins offense. We know who they playing against. And he probably will need a miracle to keep Myles Garrett off his ass, man, and out of his face. Tua will have a difficult challenge against an aggressive Browns defense, which may lead to another disappointing loss against a rookie quarterback with a pew-pew arm.
So, pew-pew arm.
And this will be a loss Tua can't afford to have. A loss like this against the Cleveland Browns, Tua can't afford this at this time right now. Boy, it'll be rough for him in this media world or the media space.
Is this a loss? On the other hand, I was gonna say, is this a loss to get your coach fired?
It's a loss that get everybody fired. It's a loss to set everything on fire and try to get insurance claim. That's the type of loss that this can cause. But on the other hand, I can see Dillon Gabriel, man, having a little more success against the Dolphins defense than he did against the Steelers, which would be another low blow to Tua Tagovailoa ability to win if Dillon has a successful game and pulls this game off and get that victory. And we all know there's no more Tyreek Hill, so Tua has to do more for the offense because Tyreek Hill, like we all know, was like a cheat code for Tua and that offense. He was able to just let the ball go, like kind of like Joe Flacco was able to do today with Jamar Chase, but in a different dynamic. You know, Tyreek Hill had speed. That speed created a lot of separation, and Tyreek Hill just knew he had to get the ball to a spot. And now that he's not there, he has to compensate and figure it out. And while he's trying to figure out how to compensate for Tyreek Hill being gone, he has to compensate and figure out how to get his team back together after making foolish comments. Where is this man?
Yeah, you can't call your teammates up like that, talking about they not showing up at the games you lost.
As a leader of
can't
this
do that.
team, the Miami Dolphins, you know, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. You know, I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and you know that they know my heart. They know that.
Oh, they know your heart.
Right. But no matter the intent, you know, the intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however.
That's where Tua go to lose me, man. Going to lose me. He starts talking about you can know the intent is right and all that. No, you just messed up. It's not about the intent. It's about you breaking the code within the locker room of your teammates and no one being able to trust you. Why is he missing that point?
Where the media wants to portray it, you know, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team. Now, being 1-5, you know, we talk a lot about, all right, we got to get this going. We got to get this going. Come in excited to go to work. Forget about the noise. And I feel like I just added onto that for
100%. Absolutely.
You know, for myself, I got to look at myself as the leader, protecting the team. I don't feel like I did that to the best of my abilities. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game. And, you know, that's something that I can learn from as a leader on this team. And what happens in-house should be protected. And none of that should have gotten out. And so want to publicly apologize about that, want to move forward, and now want to focus on the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. You want to protect in-house. You want to protect the conversations and everything about the Miami Dolphins in-house now. Okay, we're learning something. Okay.
That's something he heard. They ain't come from inside him. That was something somebody told him, like.
That was something he heard or learned from the other leaders on the team. Like, you know, let me help you out with what to say when you go back on the podium and have your press conference. Like you said, that didn't come from with inside. No. That didn't sound like that. No. That's why I say these apologies, they thrown left and right, man. Hey, I'm still gonna feel how I feel, you know.
Even when you apologize, you basically saying, but this, and like you can't justify your apology if you apologize and just got man up and take it.
I messed up. That's how I go. And Tua just, man, he's just having a rough time, man, trying to be media savvy at the same time, trying to be a leader. He's just having a rough time trying to deal with the media. Because I don't know if he's used to dealing with situations like this when it comes to sports. Maybe he was a winner all his life. We knew he was at the University of Alabama. And like I say, he, we, you, them, anybody can apologize all they want. But Tua just doesn't see a problem with snitching. That's all this is about. Tua just doesn't see a problem with snitching at the end of the day.
Right.
And Tua's teammate already seen his true identity. And unless he brings home a championship, which we all know 99%, it's a 99% chance that won't happen. He won't get any respect as a leader of the Miami Dolphins from his teammates or the Miami community. Maybe they want to get some pictures and some likes from Instagram, but he won't get no respect. And good luck this weekend trying to prevent Myles Garrett from taking his head off, because he is coming. And if you win, you know that takes care of everything. So that's what the whole goal is, to go out here and hopefully try to get a victory, because they need one bad. But it ain't looking good. It looks like it's going to be another bad week for Tua on the podium coming very soon. Let's just hope Tua doesn't look like beat up dog when he hit the podium from Myles Garrett getting
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett is coming, man. And Tua O-line is not ready for Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns defense the way his name, Jim Schwartz bring that pressure. Anyway, the Miami Dolphins already checked out, if y'all can't see or understand. The Miami Dolphins have already checked out this season. Ever since Tyreek Hill got hurt, their hopes went down the drain. That's how it looks. So I don't know. Maybe Tua is trying to lift everybody's spirits by snitching on people. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's Tua, man. We're gonna see how he does this weekend, 1:00 Eastern versus the Cleveland Browns, and we're gonna see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes. Now we have to talk about Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, man, if y'all haven't seen, Travis Hunter has been in the media headlines lately based on his actions on game day. You know what I mean? And Travis Hunter getting baptized on game day Sunday is not a bad idea, and maybe it's not a good idea, but it's steering a lot of people in a negative way. And the perspective is, how can you pick game day, I guess, to kill your old flesh and become a new man? Why would you pick game day Sunday to do that? And Skip Bayless is one of the main people who are criticizing Travis Hunter for the unexpected idea to get baptized on game day Sunday. But I don't know, man. It's just Skip, man. Skip turned this Travis Hunter situation into a big deal, you know, from what he thinks and how he sees things. And I don't think Skip understands what goes on in the minds of a young man trying to be and do better, you know, once he decides it's that time and make that change. But let's check out Skip.
So, allow me to tell you why there was no way that Travis Hunter should have chosen to be baptized on the morning of a 1:00 game in Jacksonville, where he plays, obviously, for the Jaguars. Not under normal circumstances, but here's the point. These are not normal circumstances for Travis Hunter, the football player. The Jags are using him so little, especially on defense, where he is the most gifted, all-time gifted, that Travis Hunter is starting to lose interest. He's starting to check out mentally on the Jags. So he was actually happy to be baptized on a game day morning, because football isn't taking that much concentration or focus or pregame mental preparation. Nope, not now. Now, I'm certainly not suggesting that getting baptized was any kind of protest on Travis's part. It was just a stunning indication, a stunning indication of where his head is at or not at right now. It's not really into football right now. I'll get to that point.
He trying to be a better man. That's where his head at, Skip. He's trying to become a better man and do the right thing.
In just a minute. His attitude, obviously, in this case was, hey, they're not using me that much anyway. Why not get baptized on a game day morning?
I want to know, is this disrespectful to the Lord? How Skip Bayless is talking? Like, he's basically telling Travis Hunter this was a bad idea, and you're not focused on football because you
put God first
with the Lord, and you put God first.
That's how I took it.
This is sounding more and more idiotic. But let's continue.
Even after they had one of the biggest wins in franchise history the previous Monday night at home against Kansas City, why not get baptized before a 1 o'clock game against a very good Seattle Seahawks team in Jacksonville? Why not? Last year at Colorado.
Okay, now this is what we're going to do.
My man Deion Sanders, spiritual to the core is Deion. He utilized Travis Hunter 87% on offense.
That's right.
And 83% on defense.
That's right. That's right.
And Deion told me before this Travis Hunter draft that he would, if he coached Travis in pro football, utilize him exactly the same way. And I am all for it 1,000%. Through 6 games so far with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, now what?
Jacksonville has used Travis Hunter 63% of the time on offense. That's 24% less than Deion did last year at Colorado.
Okay.
And here's the killer.
That's right. He's a rookie.
39% on defense has Jacksonville used him. That's 44% less than Deion utilized Travis last year in college football on defense.
Okay. Okay. I think Skip must have forgot everybody is waiting to see Travis Hunter be able to treat the NFL the same as he did in college. Do what he want to do on offense and do what he want to do on defense. That's what this whole big thing is about. How much time can Travis Hunter play on offense and defense as opposed to what he did in college and still have the same amount of productivity? Right now, it's not happening.
Right.
And there's a huge difference in the level of competition from college ball to NFL. That's what we're talking about. Now, if he can overcome this adversity that, playing on this next level with this competition and still be able to produce and do it at a high level, man, he is going to get all the praise in the world. But right now, it's still the hardest thing to do. And personally, I think rookie Travis Hunter is prematurely trying to be a two-way player as a professional. It's a little too early for that. Instead of mastering one position first. It's hard for a rookie to learn and master one position, let alone trying to master two positions in the first season. You have so many strikes going against you. Trying to learn two positions in your first season, let alone trying to learn one position and establish himself as an elite player at one position. So these are a lot of things that is going against Travis Hunter. And then you got to think about the amount of information Travis Hunter has to retain in order to play offense and defense, both sides of the football. The books we get are stacked like this with plays and formations and all type of different type of breakdowns about defense. And that's a lot of information to have to retain. And then you have the daily meetings with changes and things like that are made to the defense because of game plans and who we're playing that week. So he has a lot on his plate as a rookie. But getting back to Skip Bayless and talking about getting baptized at 1 o'clock on game day. Let's put this in perspective and understand, right? Before the game, a 1 o'clock game, we're waiting around the hotel before the game, right? And that is the worst feeling in the world, waiting around for us to take each other's heads off. I mean, and the time goes by so slow. I mean, slower than molasses. We're sitting here waiting and just baking and cooking, waiting for this game, waiting for the bus to take us, or what time we're supposed to report to the game, you know. And with that time, all we can do is think about every possible scenario of the football game, the bad thoughts that come in our mind, or the good thoughts that come in our mind. And it's a 1 o'clock game, 1 o'clock home game. So most of us wake up early in the morning and go home first before, heading back to the stadium. Or some of us may, go back to the hotel, then go to the stadium.
Yeah, let people know that. A lot of people don't know you stay in the hotel the night before, even in a home game.
So we stand in the hotel. I'm breaking it down to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then some players, they wait at the hotel until it's time to report to the stadium. And then you got others may need, some treatment, or they like to warm up a long time. It takes a long time for them to warm up, so they may head to the stadium early. And then if it's a night game, just get ready to be bored for hours upon hours and sitting there with nothing to do and think about but the game and all the different scenarios, good and bad. If you're a cornerback, you're trying to see every positive sign of making a play or doing something positive on the football field. And then those negative thoughts are going to sneak in your head. You just got to continue to think positive because you got nothing but time on your hands. But the point is, we have a lot of time before the game. It may not seem like a long time to y'all, but from 6 a.m. to 10:30, because most of us wake up early, like 6 o'clock a.m. in the morning, waiting to take each other head off, like I said, is a very long time to be waiting around to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And the players that are heavy sleepers, man, they got it good. They ain't worried about nothing but oversleeping. And then you can call the front desk to have them call you, as an alarm clock, so you don't have to oversleep. They sleep like a baby with no worries. So they are good, It's people like me that you thinking about too many things and always have things on your mind that are up early before the sun is up. And now we just sitting here thinking about all the different scenarios. So now that we understand the timeline before the games, right? Does Travis Hunter being baptized on game day show any signs of him not being interested in football?
No, I don't think so. I think,
right,
and especially like one of his best games he had was Monday Night Football, like on a big stage. That's one of his best games he played all season. He played a lot on defense. He had some big catches, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. So I'm like, how is he losing interest after a game like that? He should actually get more interested in the game and more excited for it.
Right. From Skip's perspective, Skip is looking at it like, the most important thing that is going on in your life is football on Sunday, and then you choose to get baptized on Sunday? How dare you? But that's Skip Bayless' perspective, of course. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I think Travis Hunter intentionally wanted to get baptized on Sunday, which is a special day. Why not do it on Sunday? It just so happened to be a game on that day. And if I did have a game on that day and I felt like, I was ready to give my life to the Lord or become a better person, and I decided to get baptized before the game, why wouldn't I feel like that is going to help me prosper in the game? Right? Why wouldn't I feel like doing something, showing my willingness to let the Lord guide me, not help me succeed? You understand?
Right.
Like it's not making
Exactly,
sense.
man.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times when a lot of people do great things, they say I want to thank God first. So why can't he show he thanking God first by like
Yeah.
he going to work, but he thanking God first before he do that, give himself to the Lord.
That's what
Like,
we all do. We pray, we pray as a team before the games. We pray to God to keep us safe and out of harm's way or any danger. Why not? And I think this is crazy because the mindset is, I want to dedicate my life to the good Lord, and hopefully my life will be filled with abundance of prosperity and good things. That is the whole outlook of going to get baptized and being a better person. That's just Skip Bayless want to take it out of context for whatever reason. He felt like he thought it was a good idea and a good take to bring this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a bad time or a bad day to pick to give your life to the Lord any day. It's never a bad time. What day is too important to give your life to the Lord?
That's what I'm saying. I
But
don't agree
the
with that
issue
at
for
all.
Travis Hunter, man, as far as him playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars and, Skip Bayless talking out his mouth as far as the percentages he played in college and now the percentages he played in NFL on a much more competitive level, right? I think the issue for Travis Hunter is playing more offense than playing more defense. He wants to be a receiver first and wants to establish himself as an elite receiver in the NFL. That's where his heart is at. And I don't think the coaching staff, Liam Cohen, them, is ready to disappoint Travis Hunter by telling him he will be a cornerback permanently first. And then we'll figure out when we can get you in at receiver second. I think they don't want to disappoint him at this point, being that he is the number 2 pick of the draft. Wasn't he number 2 pick?
Yep, number 2 overall. Yep.
Number 2 pick. But when that happens, because it's going to happen one day, no one is going to continue to half play him on offense and half play him on defense, and you're the number 2 pick. We have to make you, or you have to show us that you can be elite at one position. So whenever that happens, we have to check on Travis Hunter to see if he's mentally still in the game then, because he loves playing wide receiver. Right now, we don't have no issues.
Right.
And if y'all can't see, man, I can see and tell that Liam Cohen, head coach and the offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars, his number 1 receiver is Brian Thomas Jr., not Travis Hunter.
Of course.
So, I mean, everyone needs to stop giving Travis Hunter a false sense of hope and go ahead and put the man where he needs to be at cornerback and let him do his thing. Other than that, you're not going to get the best out of Travis Hunter ever. You're going to get a half-ass Travis Hunter on offense, and you're going to get a half-ass Travis Hunter on defense, because this isn't a level of football where you can come out here and master the game and make tons of plays just because you're very athletic and skilled and all those good things like that. You have to master these skills along with being athletic and having tremendous ball skills to be successful in the NFL. Coach Prime, we all know, he was the only one that was able to get away with that back in the days, and he was just so much more gifted than everybody else. And that's what happened. He was able to get away with it. And he ran track, which gave him a different fast twitch muscle than everybody else did back in those days. So I don't know, man. Travis Hunter. We're gonna see how this continue to go, man. And I was thinking, man, that I don't know, man. I think the competition and the quality of players these days in the NFL is causing a lot of confusion between coaches, coaches, the owners, general managers, and things like that. So I think we're going to see a lot of volatility going on when it comes to trading and some of these players getting signed and swapped out for other players and things like that. Because I don't see too many teams satisfied with their players unless everyone is being, taking it down a notch from what the expectations should be compared to what they're used to be. Because nowadays, the talent isn't talented. The talent and the potential looks amazing. But as far as, the talent producing and doing that at a high level, we don't see that much no more like we did. Specifically, we got the quarterback position, the cornerbacks position. I don't even see, defensive ends taking over the NFL like we did as much as we did back in the days.
Or linebacker. You only see many like monsters at linebacker either. Like before, you be scared of linebackers. Now it's like
scared of linebackers. Exactly, man. From the Ray Lewis to the there was so many linebackers. I can't think of his name at Washington. So many Junior Seau's. Oh man, it was intimidating back in those days, man. Those linebackers, Joey Porter's, James Harrison's, most recently, all these linebackers.
Washington, he went to Penn State. I can't think of his name either.
I can't think of his name. He was a smaller linebacker. He wasn't as intimidating, but you knew that he was going to.
Yeah, Shady's like he giving the most problems. You talking about Lamar Arrington.
Yeah, you got Lamar Arrington. Lamar Arrington was a freak. No, but that ain't the one I'm talking about. This one was he's a shorter guy, but he was a sure tackler, and he had like 150 tackles per year, but he was so underrated, he never got any recognition that he was supposed to get and things like that. But yeah, man, I could say the NFL, man, we'll see, man, how it goes, but I think the talent just not talented like it used to be, and we're going to have to check it out. But, oh, man, remember that I said it here first. Jalen Waddle, A.J. Brown, possibly to the Steelers, man. You might see him in the Steelers uniform.
Chris Olave going to the Steelers.
Olave. But let's get to the chat, man. Let's get to the chat, man. Starting with Bruce Lee. Shout out to Bruce Lee, man. We just had the Grandpa Bowl, Flacco versus Rodgers, man. That was the Grandpa Bowl along with the Icy Hot Bowl. And let me tell you, we talking about these old
London
men.
Fletcher. Yeah, London Fletcher.
We talking about these old men. That's his name, London Fletcher. We're talking about these old men like, it's the Grandpa Bowl and they're going to need a lot of Icy Hot. But tell me some younger quarterbacks that looks hotter than these two older guys right now. You know what I mean? In this specific game. Joe Flacco, he never looked this good in his life.
Player of the week.
So,
Joe Flacco might be the player of the week this week, man.
What we got, Mr. International? Salute back, man. Like I say, man, you talk to us, we talk back, and we appreciate, man, all the love that y'all show us. Y'all know we need it. We need that motivation. Keep it coming, man. And we only up and up from here, man. We got big things on the horizon, and we can't wait to announce it to y'all. And I know I told y'all Coach Prime was coming this week. He had a few things going on, but he's going to get back to me. We're going to figure this out, man. Y'all might see me in Colorado before y'all see him on Say What Needs to Be Said. So just getting few things off my plate.
Yeah, you're going to see me there too. I'm going.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. International coming through again. I would love to know y'all thoughts on Deshaun Watson. It's over for him, or is the Cleveland Browns, or is it the Cleveland Browns organization? That is a good conversation, and that was something I want to talk about this weekend, but we could touch on it briefly, man. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson is a priority for the Cleveland Browns, and he's a priority because he has all the money allotted to him. Mm-hmm. He has a guaranteed contract. His contract is basically fully guaranteed, regardless of what happens to him in his life, right? So with that being said, they have no choice, especially with a 3rd round quarterback and a 5th round quarterback being 1 and 2 right now. They're not going to have no choice but to give DeShaun Watson a chance when he is activated back to the 53-man roster. If they didn't give him a chance, it would look idiotic and incompetent of anybody that has anything to do with running the Browns organization, as far as the coaches and or the general manager. DeShaun Watson, he is a very talented quarterback, and he will always have that what if factor if you don't give it a try, right? But until he is replaced by a franchise quarterback or someone has established himself as the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, he is going to always have an option and a chance to be the starting quarterback, because money talks and that BS walk. You know, when you make that
money's worth.
You know, but my question is, and my problem would be, if they gave DeShaun Watson a chance before Shedeur Sanders when he came back, that will be a major issue. Shedeur Sanders should chance. Now, of course, I said week 10, and if I'm correct, right, DeShaun Watson comes back in December sometime, and I'm not exactly, I don't have my weeks and the months and everything all mapped up correctly, right? But I was saying Shedeur Sanders may play like in week 10. But more and more that I think of it, Dillon Gabriel isn't going to get any better from what we've seen. And he is who he is. And what I've talked about and what everybody else is talking about is all you're going to get from Dillon Gabriel. He is a system program. He's a program manager type quarterback. What's the word again? Y'all know.
Game manager.
Game manager. Whoa, man. Woo, y'all know. I gotta stay off. But he is the system quarterback, game manager type quarterback who can't do anything too special, right? And being that he's smaller, he can't even escape pressure or use his legs to make up for the lack of arm strength.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so with that being said, the offense isn't going to progress. They're not going to make any moves, and all that it does is lead to Shedeur Sanders being the quarterback, and that time is going to come sooner than later, probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. He has to get an opportunity, a chance to bring a spark to the offense, because Dillon Gabriel is going to die that offense down. We've seen how he can operate the offense without Quinshon Judkins having that amazing game that he did against the Minnesota Vikings. So, everybody get ready, man. Shedeur Sanders is going to get his opportunity unless DeShaun Watson comes back and sometime soon miraculously, and they put him in the starting role before Shedeur Sanders. Other than that, they're going to try to ride Dillon Gabriel out as long as they can, because he is the 3rd round pick, the first quarterback taken for the Cleveland Browns. And that means a lot in that world, because somebody has to answer to picking him before everybody else and him not paying it out. That's just how it goes in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, sir.
Our predictions, man. I don't know, man. We in week 7, week 10.
Week 7, it's almost here.
Week 10 is all around the corner. It's right around the corner, man. Everything is lining up. Oh man, I know y'all talking about me in the chat, man. Y'all.
Now, I got a question for you before we go tonight.
Yeah, man. Talk to me, man. Questions out, man.
Yeah, we was talking about the pregame and everything. Did you have like a pregame meal, a pregame song you had to listen to before you went out there on the field? Anything special that you did every game?
Yeah, man. I had a little pregame ritual, man. Oh man, I was off the chain, man. Y'all don't laugh at me, and y'all learn how to keep a secret, man. All right, man. So first and foremost, right? So my meal that I ate before every game, right? Once I learned what meal I was going to eat that made me feel good and kept me full throughout that long period we're waiting, right, is spaghetti. the pasta and the starch and the red meat kept me very full throughout the game. If y'all don't understand, right? Before a 1 o'clock game, our last time eating is around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And if you put some bacon and some biscuits and pancakes in your body, by the time the game is over, which is going to last, so you last time you eat is 10:30. The game isn't over, and you're not out of the locker room till about the game is over at 4 something. You're not out till about like 5 o'clock. So you've went all these hours exerting yourself, putting out all this energy, and you're trying to survive off some pancakes and some bacon. So you have to learn what to eat to hold your so your body can hold over and stay full and still have some energy to burn. So spaghetti and meatballs, or spaghetti and ground beef, that was my pregame meal. That was my go-to meal before games, right? But like I said, I'm an early bird, so I'm up early. I said 6 o'clock. No. I'm up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And here's the trick, right? So I get up early, boom. As soon as I get up, I go to the car and I'm hitting home. We are not supposed to leave the hotel till after breakfast or whatever, but I'm gonna leave. And on my way home is when I get my mind right. I get my mind right. I didn't start doing this until like the last 5 years, last 3, 4, 5 years of my career, right? Mainly in Atlanta, right? So I wake up in the morning, get my mind right on my way to home. I got to hit I-85 all the way to Gwinnett. That's where I live. So we're staying out there downtown. So I got to drive about 45 minutes home, get my mind right, I shower up, my wifey, if I didn't eat spaghetti at the hotel, I got the wifey to cook it up, so the wifey cook it up, get them all in the car. And yeah, so that was what I do early in the morning. But before I get there, right, I'm riding, I'm jamming, get my mind right. My go-to music, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. And I just love some Trick Daddy, man. And the song I like to do, my go-to song that get my mind right and get me crunk. I'm a high energy person, right? I like rhythm and beats, right? You know what I mean? I'm a high energy person. I like up-tempo beats and things like that. So my go-to song was that anybody wanna not come see who me ye double D, y'all. Hey, that's right. Hey, they see me on the bus just acting crazy. But honestly, man, bro, I'm so high energy and so up tempo. I had to stop listening to music on the bus or on chill time because it literally, music really moves me and gets me hyped up and amped up. So I can't wait. I can't listen to music until I touch the field. And when I touch the field, now that music and that energy is touching me and hitting me, and now I'm grooving. Now it's time for me to use it and burn some energy. Other than that, I'm burning too much energy, on the bus, and I'm vibing too hard. So I don't put on no headphones or none of that on the bus. And I'm just looking at everybody. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's just looking like they scared, and they don't really want to go out here and play football today. That's how we all feel. We already got paid, man. We got paid Tuesday. This is work. Y'all know everybody don't want to go to work. This is work day for me. And I'm trying to sleep, man, on the way on the bus on the way to the stadium. And sometimes I'd be like, man, I hope this is like a 45-minute ride. I could just take a nap. And sometimes you just be like, man, I just hope something happened. We ain't gotta wake up and play today. Just come on, man. It be all type of scenarios going on, man. But hey, man, we're human, man. We're human, man.
Right.
So, that's some of the things that we go through. But the night before, man, I don't know if y'all heard me talk about it before, but the night before, I would have me a little partner. We get together, and usually, in Philadelphia, my partner was DeShaun Jackson. And wherever we at, we're going to have a connection to get what we need to go get our mind right. And so as soon as we land in whatever city that we're playing, me and D Jack will hook up, whether either he got the connection or I got the connection. Mostly he had the connection, and we go find us somewhere outside, get our mind right, and life is good, keeping safe, staying out of harm's way. And he had a successful career. I had a successful career, and we did it how we needed to do it. And life is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this weekend, what we got, Mr. International? Seems like the safest first round pick in the offensive lineman. What are y'all thoughts? Who is that? Seems like the safest first round pick is an offensive lineman. Oh, what are y'all thoughts? If you're building a team and you're starting as a new head coach or you're rebuilding, yes, I would go offensive lineman, not just offensive lineman or defensive lineman. Offensive line, defensive line, you got to start from the inside out. You got to build your team from the inside and make sure they're physical and tough inside, because you have to be able to run the ball and you have to be able to stop the run first and foremost. I don't know how this game has revolutionized to shotgun quarterbacks every passing play, when it wasn't like that back in the days. And now they're trying to change the game, but it's going to come back. You have to play physical football to win football games. So offensive lineman is, yes, a safe pick if you have a new team and you need to establish that physical presence. But other than that, this depends on what you need. But yeah, at skill position, it can get a little tricky a lot of times when you're picking these athletes out of college, and it's hard to rank them based on what they did in college, thinking that it's just going to transfer over to the NFL. And a lot of the times it does, And so yeah, good question, Mr. International. Good question. Good question.
When it's not the missing piece, when it's like the only thing there, you can't build a team around like a wide receiver. Just starting with a wide receiver, you need everything. You ain't got no quarterback to throw to him. You ain't got no line to protect the quarterback. You got to start inside out.
You have to start inside out, man. You have to start inside out. John Harbaugh, is it John or Jim from the Los Angeles Chargers? He came there, man, and he's building that team correctly, starting from the inside out. And it's about playing physical football. I
always think it should be defense before offense as well. Like that's me, because I always like play defense. So I always thought like you gotta go build the defense first, and all offense gonna come later.
Yeah, and that always depend on the mindset of the head coach. If the head coach is an offensive minded coach, or if the head coach is a defensive minded coach. If he's a defensive minded coach, he's gonna go D line. If he's an offensive minded coach, he's probably gonna go offensive line or something to do with offense. And you have to understand that's how it goes in the NFL. That's why I tell you, when Dillon Gabriel is drafted the third round, the first quarterback, someone is responsible for taking him, because everyone is a part of the evaluation. Maybe a specific scouting department have quarterbacks. So we're all in the room on draft day, and it's like, hey, Dillon Gabriel, do we want to take him? I say yes, because I'm the quarterback. I've scouted him, and I think he can fit this team. So I'm putting my name on the line for Dillon Gabriel. Does he pan out? Yes or no? That's going to be on me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to my people, man. Shout out to Shador Sanders, man. Once again, man, the game, final score, it was a good one, 33-31. Joe Flacco surprised the world. And, man, let me tell you, who is most satisfied, or who is Joanna saw Trick Daddy and Spaghetti? Yeah, that's a great combination, ain't it? Trick Daddy and Spaghetti. Okay, I want to see you. I want to hear you have that meal one day with a little Trick Daddy vibe in the background. A little spaghetti. Put a little sugar on top with the spaghetti, and put a little Trick Daddy. But yeah, man, Joe Flacco surprised a lot of people tonight, man. It went down, man, and the person that is most elated and most excited from the night, and the reinsurance of Joe Flacco is Jamar Chase. Thank you for not letting this talent go to waste, because this first 3, 4, 5 games that he played without Joe Flacco there has been miserable and horrible. So
23 targets. 23 targets. I still can't believe it.
23 targets. And 23 targets, they was worth every one. And out of those 23 targets, how many he caught? 16, right?
16, yep.
It was about 4 of them. He almost had one-handed that he was supposed to catch. That one in the end zone, it was a fade route. There was a couple more passes that Jamar chased. But Jalen Ramsey, Lord have mercy. They don't know what they want to do with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is the next Travis Hunter. They don't know if he should be a safety or a corner. But tonight was just embarrassing, and tonight should tell y'all, don't ever put him back at cornerback. I don't care if you think he's big and physical enough to play with these big physical receivers. You have to be able to make a play at the end of the day. That's the same thing they got caught up with when they decided to bring Nnamdi Asomugha to the team, because he can get physical at the line of scrimmage. What happens after the line of scrimmage when the ball is in the air? Everybody forgets about that. Just because I can get physical at the line of scrimmage, what happens when the ball is in the air? And that's what they failed to realize, and that's what Jalen Ramsey failed. Did Jalen Ramsey get his hands on any balls today?
Yeah, he did. He did. He stopped the touchdown pass at Chi Higgins on the out route.
Did I miss that or something? Because
yeah. He knocked the ball down on the out route.
So he had a pass
right there.
Okay. All right, but yeah, man, Jalen Ramsey, boy, he is going to get roasted. And yes, I'm the first one to start this roasting contest. And this is Thursday Night Vibes. We're going to see y'all again either Saturday or Sunday. Y'all know how it go. I ain't sure, you know what I mean? But I'm sorry I was late today. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Don't be coming in here and not liking and subscribing and sharing this chat now.
Yeah, I was gonna say share it.
Yeah, make sure y'all share, man. We live tonight, man. It was a fun live tonight, but I was a little late, man. The little camera issues, man. I had to get that together, man. It was a little shaky, a little scary at the same time. I was scared I was gonna be able to show up, man. I was scared, man. But we got it done, man. I'm happy to be here, and I love talking that with y'all, you know what I mean? But it's Thursday Night Vibe. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. That's
your boy 2-3 Drees.
We had fun with y'all tonight. And man, make sure y'all show up and show out again. Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Man, and we're gonna see y'all next time. We are